a really hot minute, like Showtime back in the 90s. Hot minute. Since I have done a live stream, and I need to remedy that. Today is a Saturday morning silliness. It's almost noon my time, so not Saturday morning at all. It's very far away from the morning. Actually, it's still technically the morning. It's 11:55, but it is what it is, guys. So this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. We are going to be playing GAC, talking all about Star Wars, upcoming news, breaking news, in fact, which I'm really excited to talk about, and just a bunch of other things. But before we begin, if you like this channel, if you like this content, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, check out the links in the section below. Click thumbs up. All of that helps the channel. I know also what helps the channel is me making videos. But that being said, let's get into it. I'm going to be playing 3v3 GAC. Let's go ahead and take a look at my opponent, whose name I cannot. Oh, Rainbow Sardines. What did I say? What did I say? You can't say your name. Come on, man. Anyways, that might be a student. Over on Twitch, looking at this character's approach, look at his ships. He's got quite a few ships. Profundity not fully geared out. He doesn't have the malevolence, or whatever that one is, that is killing everybody lately. Nobody knows. Sure. Yeah, that's what's going to keep my job. That's going to help me keep my job, is telling people nobody knows, right? That being said, they've got Jedi Master Kenobi, Kylo Ren, Supreme Leader Snoke. That's not a thing. Jedi Master Luke, Sith Eternal Emperor. They've got a pretty handy roster. Now, I did lose the first battle. It was pretty close, though. It was pretty close. This is an OG player. You can tell by the fact that he or she still has Mini in their name, as a reference to Mini Snowwalker, I believe. I forget. He was a player who we raised money for maybe like 2 years ago, but it was a pretty good battle, right? I just underperformed, right? He beat me by 6 points, right? So I feel pretty good. I don't got you in my schedule this year. So sad. All right. But pretty good battle. So, I don't feel bad about it. I don't. I played my best. I did well. I just in the end, you too, buddy. Let's go ahead and check this out. What he's got up front, up top, we have Basti Shan with Grandmaster Luke. We've got Bosk, pretty simple team to beat. We've got Luke, Commander Luke, General Grievous, General Hux up top. Down at the bottom, and while it's loading, it is important to keep in mind that this player obviously lost the first round as well, but did they put in all the effort? It's a whole thing. We've got Radis, we've got Shakti, we've got Mon Mothma, Skylo, and the Brood. So we're going to be going through this. I just learned today, as we start playing this, that Ahsoka comes out on Wednesday, right? We all know that was the night that it was supposed to stream live. It was supposed to be like Wednesday morning at like 3 in the morning. They are now saying that Ahsoka is going to be streaming Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. No, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Whatever, West and East, I don't remember. But those are the two numbers, which for me means 7, I think, maybe 8. I'm very excited about this because it's Ahsoka, and I will get to watch it early. I mean, Who doesn't want to watch your favorite show the day that it's released? Now, what's interesting about this, and I got to say this because this is, to me, this is an absolutely fascinating change. There's a few things that I think are kind of big takeaways for this. One, it's coming out a day early, right? Which, awesome, right? No one has to wait up till 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning or even wake up that early to to get to be able to play, to be able to watch. So super excited about that. Like really, really freaking stoked. So that's awesome. Very, very happy. But here's the other thing. You've also got streamers, like people who've gotten early access to the show have already gone out, and so you've got to wonder what the buzz is going to be. Are people enjoying it? Are people liking it? They want to build hype. They want to build excitement. Lots of random stuff like that. But here's my conspiracy theory, and follow along and see if I've got anything here. Okay. Now, I try to avoid politics on this channel as much as possible because there's nothing as divisive as politics, with the exception of maybe Star Wars. But one of the things that is interesting to me is on Wednesday, you have two very big television events politically. Okay. You've got the first, here, at least here in the United States. Okay. You've got the first Republican national debate, which is a thing, right? And then you have Tucker Carlson doing his interview with former President Donald Trump, right? So you've got those two things on the day that would otherwise have been the premiere of Ahsoka, right? So then I ask myself, are they bumping this up because they know that that's probably going to take precedent for some people over watching Ahsoka, right? Are they going to, are some people going to be watching that instead of Ahsoka? Because let's face it, a lot of fans are frustrated with the way that Disney has handled the Star Wars brand, and a lot of people are dropping off to watch other things. Now, obviously not everyone's going to watch something political, and I understand that, but it will dominate Twitter and or X, or whatever you want to call it, whatever it's being called these days. And the question then is, did they move it up because they want some time kind of like to dominate the space? Because between now and Tuesday night, people are going to be talking about Ahsoka, right? And then Wednesday they're going to be talking about Ahsoka, and then Thursday X is going to be like largely political. And so they're going to lose some fan base. Now, probably not a ton and maybe not a lot, but it really makes me wonder if Disney's pushing this up because they know that they're going to have some competition, right? I think that that's the case. Now, yes, there is a big there's a big group of people that won't be an issue, right? And I totally understand that. But I think that might actually play a pretty big role. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm onto something? Do you think am I just letting my alien brain, my lizard brain, kind of like take over here and be like, look, Thaddeus, you're off. That's not a thing. And maybe I am. Maybe I'm reading way too much into this. But there's a lot of frustration going on in the Star Wars universe. There's a lot of frustration here in the United States, one way or the other. And it really makes me wonder, right? Because you have these two competing shows. You have the Republican live debate, and then Twitter, which is where Tucker Carlson does his thing. that's where he's interviewing Donald Trump. And so it's like, what's gonna happen, right? So I'm really interested as to why they're doing that. Now, am I less interested and am I more interested in that than maybe the Ahsoka show? Not even a little bit. I am so excited for Ahsoka. This seems to be freaking awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. The early embargoed material, you know, fans who've seen it, critics who've seen it, it makes it sound positive. Now, I haven't spent a lot of time reading or really looking into what everyone has said. I've just kind of watched a few videos this morning on it, but I am stoked for this. Like, I'm incredibly excited because this is going to be, I think, fun. Like, I'm really hoping that it's fun. Now, I have to say that if it's not, there are going to be problems. I've seen a lot of videos, I've seen a lot of material, but Ahsoka has to not just be good. It has to be phenomenal. Ahsoka can't just be okay. It has to be exceptional. Because Disney can't continue to put out shows that are dividing the fandom. They need to put out shows that bring in new viewers, that bring people back to the platform. The Disney Plus platform is bleeding subscribers, and they can't keep doing that. They just can't. And we know that in upcoming, I think next year, Disney has to buy out their portion of Hulu from ABC. I think I can't remember the group, but like, they have to. It has to be phenomenal. It has to bring in more money. Grundy, love you, brother. And I think you're right. I think that it's going to exceed expectations. And I think partially that is because expectations are so low, right? Because expectations for Ahsoka, for things that Disney is putting out, are not great. You know, and that's a big problem that Disney has to go through. Bob Iger, from what I've heard, from what I've read about, is facing some problems. He's really struggling. I did have one of my students show up. I keep telling him, like, guys, you can't mention that you're one of my students. That's not good, you know. And they're like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no. And when you get kidnapped, I'm going to be blamed, right? Kids don't understand the internet's a dangerous place. But yeah, like, I'm super excited. Like, I'm super excited for what we're going to see. And I do think, I think you're right, Grundy, that we're going to see something better than we all anticipate. And that's what I'm really hoping for. I want something solid. You know, it can't just be okay. It has to be better than anything that we've seen so far. Now, you know, Grundy, anyone who's seen me talk about knows that I loved, in fact, Andor. Now, there was things that bothered me about it, sure, but I loved it. I love the politics of the Star Wars universe. I don't necessarily like our politics in humanity. I think we as people suck a lot, and politicians mostly. But like, I love the Star Wars politics. They are a ton of fun to me. And so I'm really excited to get back into this, because as I was looking at like the books, I've tried to keep up with all of the books. You guys know this. Rebels. What am I doing? Not Rebels. Let's go Galactic Republic. Let's do 5.0 first. What am I doing? 5.0 first. One of the things that I love about one of the things that Disney has done right and in my mind, they've done right. It is the Star Wars books and even comics that take place in the Rise of the Empire Rebellion age, right? The High Republic I struggle with, like I really do, because like I want to like it, but it's iffy at best. It's frustrating for sure. But like it's a real challenge for me, the High Republic. But the Galactic Republic era is solid. It is so good. And one of the things that I really enjoy about, I mean, if you look at like all of these these books that have come out under Disney, and you're like, okay, well, what are the best books? It has all been the Galactic Republic era, right? The Thrawn trilogy, even what's the Master and Apprentice. They are all really, really, really good stories. Some of the other ones that have gotten the most hype, which is unfortunate, have, you know, kind of taken away from people wanting to read the Galactic Republic era stories. But they're solid. They're 100% solid. I mean, Master and Apprentice, Dark Disciple, all of those are Galactic Republic era. Thrawn, Thrawn Ascendancy, those stories are so freaking good, and they're done in a way that's just, it's good storytelling, which, you know, the High Republic era, and there's some that I like, I'll be honest, but it's not solid, consistently good storytelling. It's fine in a number of areas, you know, it's acceptable, but it's not what some Star Wars is or should be. I don't know. It's not that the level that I would like, and that's frustrating. Let's see, CT, boop. Oh, it's CC. That's right. Clone Commander, and then Hera. Sorry, I'm looking up all of these over on SWHG, HW, whatever, the GG one. All right, so the back end doesn't look too terrible. Let's jump up to the front and see what we got, see what we need to take out. But yeah, I'm really freaking excited about this. So Grundy, you say again, agree on the politics side of our real lives. It's really dividing the nation. I have bad thoughts. Yeah, like that's things, we all have bad thoughts about it. And one of the reasons why we like Star Wars is because we can dive into something that is not our politics. We can break from reality, jump into something that kind of takes us away. But when they include our politics into Star Wars, it brings us back. We're like, oh yeah, that's what we hate about this world. Okay, great. Thanks, not Capital Games. Thanks, Disney. Thanks, whoever, for bringing our politics into this thing that I was trying to get away from, you know? And that's a real problem. It is, because we shouldn't have to, I don't know, I say we shouldn't have to. It's nice to not have to deal with those multiple things, right? And I do think, like I said, these books that have brought into is this the, Grundy over on Twitch says, my wife is funny. She's here watching a few streamers, and asks me if this is the teacher that I like or the potty mouth but still funny one. Me and Fort Morton. That's awesome. But in my mind, it's true, right? There's value in leaving your politics behind and escaping into something fantastical, right? That's what I love about this. That is, it's one of the many things that I love about this. Now, personally, and I've said this before, I am not opposed to girl power. I say if there's a feminist out there, you've got my love, right? My wife, hardcore, she's like girl power, great. And I've got 2 daughters. I want them to have strong female roles, but I want them to have strong female roles or role models because they've earned the right. Now, Ahsoka, Hera, even Sabine, I think we're going to see that. And that's what I'm really excited for. And that's what I'm really hoping for, is that their storyline continues to put forth women of character, women of confidence, women who may be the main roles. Because let's face it, from what we've seen so far, those ladies are hardcore. And I say, bring it. I say, yeah, I'm all about that. I don't want to watch the new Ahsoka show and be let down because they took away what character development made those ladies so great. And they are, right? I mean, yeah. I'm still hesitant. Yeah, hopefully it's not like Snow White. I'm thinking that it's not going to be, because I have a feeling that Rosario Dawson has a much better understanding of Star Wars than the Snow White actress has of Snow White. So Snow White was probably the wrong choice to remake, simply because it is a damsel who is in distress, who needs help from an outside source, right? That's the case. Sorry. Now, I still love the memes that are like the Snow White girl versus Gal Gadot, who's intimidated by her looks. Gal Gadot should be intimidated by no lady's looks. She is a beautiful lady. And that's not in like a weird perverted way. She really is. And that's not to say that this other Snow White actress is less attractive. I mean, she is, but I'm not going to compare her looks to Gal Gadot's. They're different people, right? But what does make it less attractive to me, and granted, I'm married, and so whatever, is personality, right? Gal Gadot's a wonderful woman, right? She served in her military. Now, she was conscripted, so I don't know like how she actually served, if she was like a wonderful soldier, but to me that's neither here nor there. She served. Good for her, right? All Israelis serve in their military. That's what they do. And so good for her. She's patriotic to her country. Wonderful. This other person is bashing the patriarchy. To me, I don't know. It bugs me a little bit, right? Personality, in my mind, way more important than looks. Now, having said that, I did marry a beautiful woman, but she's also got a great personality. Smoking hot and fun to argue with from time to time. She keeps me on my toes. But yeah, what was I saying? I went off on a tangent. Ahsoka. It sounds like it's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited for it. In fact, I think we are going to be doing a review. And now that it's coming out on Tuesdays and not Wednesdays, I feel like we still might be able to get that review earlier in the week and talk about it. Now, I don't believe that I'll be joined this time by our good friend, the Nev. Although, if it's awesome, I have a feeling the Nev may end up joining us. But Nev, like a lot of other people, is just really frustrated with the way that this has been, handled, like Star Wars has been handled. Now, and Paul, I haven't actually talked to Paul about it, so we'll see. But I believe, oh my gosh, the name's gonna escape me. We're gonna have some fun, is the short answer. Oh no, R2. That's because he's not R8 yet. On a side note, if you are a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, oh man, I'm gonna lose this. There's a Facebook group called It's Always Sunny on Tatooine, and they just put memes. I do think Nev is gonna watch it, but I think it's gonna be one of those, like, it's not gonna be top of his list. I don't think he's gonna be watching it the day of, kind of a thing. Man, that one usually works really well for me. All right, let's go to Commander Luke. Let's see who's a good. Let's do this. Let's bring in the Sith. Yeah, I don't think that he's not gonna watch the show. Again, he's been burned, as a hardcore fan, and Nev is a hardcore fan. He feels betrayed by Star Wars, and I understand that. I really do, because there's a lot that's gone on that I think they've thrown a lot of fans under the bus. They've thrown a lot of people who grew up with the Star Wars, and I think the first and foremost thing that they did was when they got rid of OG canon. Now I will be the first to admit that the old canon was not always sensational. It was often very good. But even George Lucas was like, look, those aren't my stories. They are kind of like stories from other people's. And I understand that, right? It's not like, I don't know. I totally understand that concept. But people grew up with those stories, and a lot of them are really, really good. The original Thrawn trilogy, I mean, we can all accept that is chef's kiss stuff. That's solid, good material. Is it perfect? No, it's not. I'll admit it. There are things about the OG Thrawn trilogy that I'm like, I wish they would have done this a little different. But they didn't, and that's fine. How do I want to do this? Let's bring him in, and then let's throw a mod on. But it's still really good, and it's fun, and that's what's important. Probably about 6 months ago, Padme R2 Gideon, or swap R2 for Shock. CLS target. Thanks, Grundy. I'll come back to that here in a sec. Oh, Padme balls! I just realized that I am using Padme, so that's a thing. We'll figure it out. But no, like I think it's been really interesting to go through and to read some of these old materials and then compare some of the old stuff to some of the new stuff. Now, I have been very honest. I love the new Thrawn, to the point that I'm not entirely sure that he's going to be the main bad guy. I've said that many times. I don't think one of the reviews that I saw, I was just before I came on, I was watching Den of Nerds, and he had a review, and one of the reviews said that there was a MacGuffin in the first episode, and so I don't know how true that is. I don't know, but I've always thought that the chase for Thrawn is the MacGuffin, that he's not the bad guy that everyone's afraid of. Now Thrawn will be Um, I don't know. Like he is a bad guy, but it sounds like from the trailers that both Ahsoka and their crew and Balin and his crew are looking for Thrawn. So it's like if they're all looking for Thrawn, WTF is Thrawn. Where the far side of the galaxy is Thrawn. And that's what that WTF means. I don't know any other meaning that F could fill in there. But where is he? You know, what's he been up to? And it really makes me think that that's where they're focusing on, right? Heir to the Empire. So first day of school, I have all these books in my classroom. In every class, whether it's, so I teach creative writing, English, journalism, and I go through and I'm like, these are all my books. These are the books that I like. These are the reasons why I like them. And I have a wide variety of books, not all of my books for all of my students. I tell them that. I'm like, if you're ever reading a book and you don't feel comfortable with it, don't read it. It's okay to break up with a book, don't read it. Don't keep reading if you feel uncomfortable. But none of my books are like super sketchy, right? But again, there may be something in it that I'm like, some people are a little more reserved, a little more sheltered almost than others. But I'm like, don't read it if you don't like it. And I don't read anything that, I don't make my kids read anything that they would feel uncomfortable. At least I think they wouldn't feel uncomfortable with. But like I get to my Thrawn books, and this is the OG white cover Thrawn, and I hold it up and I'm like, all right, guys, how many of you like Star Wars? And I always get a couple of hands usually. I was like, how many of you are excited to see the show? And, again, a couple hands show up. And then I hold this book up and I'm like, this is the new canon Thrawn. And it came out in like 2016, 2017, something like that. I'm like, in the last 5 years that this book has been out, I have read this book 6 times. Then I'm like, and I've read the trilogy with this book, I think 4 times. It's phenomenal. And the kid's like, you're weird. And I'm like, yeah, but you haven't seen anything yet, kind of a thing. So, let's do, First Order. I feel like win percentage, CLS could work. But yeah, I'm super excited for Thrawn to come out for this story. But I don't think Thrawn is going to be our main bad guy. I'm just not buying it. Now, I do have to go back. I haven't read the Hand of Thrawn, the duology that came before in years. Which would I The Heir to the Empire? So Grundy asks, which book should I read after The Heir to the Empire? Are you talking the series Heir to the Empire, or are you talking just the single book? Because if you're talking the single book, then I would just go ahead and read the series. If you're looking for Thrawn and backstory for Thrawn, I would say go through and read the Ascendancy series. If you saw Star Wars Rebels, you kind of have an idea of Thrawn as a person. But if you want to see his motives, and if you want to see why I think Thrawn, the search for Thrawn is a MacGuffin, the search for Thrawn is that Thrawn won't be the main bad guy. I think he'll be a bad guy. I don't think he'll be the main bad guy, if that makes sense, if you can catch my difference. He is a great character, but he's always going to do things for his people. And if you go back and if you go through and you read the Ascendancy trilogy, you'll understand what I mean by that. And the original, the new Thrawn original series. So Thrawn Treason, Thrawn Alliances, they're all great. The only thing that you would need to know about those books is that Thrawn, and I don't even know if you need to know this, but Thrawn suspected that Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader. He may have known Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader, but it's never clear, right? There's a few people who actually knew that Anakin was Darth Vader, and it sounds like Balin, I almost said Balin Greyjoy, wrong series. But it sounds like Balin may have been told that this new Balin, this new character, may have been told that Thrawn is or became Anakin. I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be interesting one way or the other. So, but the Thrawn Ascendancy series, so good. So good. And the reason why I like it as much as I do is because what it does is it gives context. And that's the thing that I think a lot of Star Wars is missing right now, is context. I think 7, 8, and 9 could have been great films. 7 was fun. 8 was okay. 9, I've watched 9 twice. I watched it once in the theaters, and I think I've watched it one other time. I've read all the books. I've read 1 through 6 multiple times. Azura, welcome over to YouTube. I've read the books multiple times, but what's frustrating to me is like I started reading 9 and I put it down. I think I got like 2 chapters in and I was like, I can't do this. This isn't solid, and it didn't add anything. Most of the don't kill off Hera before the Ahsoka premiere. I'm sorry, I had to. But most of the books, like 7, the book, I mean, it's pretty word for word, 8, I did not like episode 8 until I read the book. There's something about the books that make it better. And now that I've read the book, I'm like, okay, I can actually appreciate 8. I don't like it. It's not my favorite. The whole trip to, I almost said Nar Shaddaa, but the Nar Shaddaa equivalent, whatever that planet was, it was incredibly superfluous. You didn't need to go. But it was still fun, and there was some character development that took place in the book that I'm like, okay, this made the book better for me now, or the movie better for me. Now, it's by no means perfect. In fact, there's still 8 does suck, but like it was redeemed for me by reading the book. Now, if you're not a person who is going to give it that shot, then don't, obviously. I mean, I'm not trying to convince you here, but for me, it was redeemed. Having said that, I still see there's so many problems with 8 that are infuriating to me, that they should have fixed. They shouldn't have even done the Luke throwing the lightsaber behind. I mean, that was like what a slap in the face to fans, I mean, just so frustrating. But like, there's a lot that really bugged me. A lot. Lucas. Oh, you got me. You got me. Grundy over on Grundy over on Twitch said, if Annie is short for Anakin, Chewbacca is short for Chewbacca, Chewie is short for Chewbacca, R2 is short for R2-D2, then Luke is short for what? The answer? A stormtrooper. Oh, you got me. No, but like I'm really excited for Ahsoka. I liked Andor. There were definitely aspects of Kenobi that I really enjoyed. They all felt really rushed, which is infuriating. Um, let's see. Let's do this. Do I have any mods? No. Like there were things about the Kenobi series that I really liked. I love the concept of the path. It was awesome to me to see how some Jedi survived. That was a really cool concept. And ended up continuing to do their work, not just survive, but survive the Inquisitors as well. I'm curious to know if we will see any of those Jedi. Now that the New Republic is in swing, will there be Jedi that show up? Will there be other Jedi that show up? And I don't know. You know, let's see. We've got the Executor, we've got the Malevolence, and then we've got Home One. There's a trap. So I don't know, like, but I'm excited to see where this goes. Yeah, Kenobi was frustrating. I'll be honest. Like there were some real problems with Kenobi that bugged me. But there were some things that I found that redeemed this series. Not completely. Maybe not even necessarily for a season 2. But I do know that, or I have heard that, I don't know this, but I have heard that Ewan McGregor has talked about there being a second season and what he would like to see in that second season. Hold on, my little one just texted me. Upstairs. So I don't know, like I'm excited to see where it goes. Now on a side note, I have heard, we've all heard rumors that Disney is going to try to sell Lucasfilm and you know, that'll be an interesting thing. There's always a no comment with Bob Iger when that's brought up. But I've also heard that the Biden administration, and again, not trying to bring in politics to this, but the rumor is that Luke, you know, they'd sell to Apple, right? Which I think would be pretty interesting, right? I mean, I know that Apple's got a lot of great TV shows. They're a big media company, and here in the United States, we do have what do you call those, monopoly laws or anti-monopoly laws? I mean, granted, they're not followed, but I heard that the Biden administration wouldn't allow it, even if they could. They wouldn't let a deal like that go through. Now, the rumor that I heard was that it wasn't just that Apple was trying to buy Lucasfilm, but that Apple was trying to buy all of Disney. And that is what I think they were saying that wouldn't be allowed. But it'd be interesting. I mean, I don't like Apple products typically. I do have an iPad for my classroom that allows me to kind of like walk around and like cast students' work and stuff. I mean, I probably could have done it with a Samsung, but you know, they gave me an iPad. It's like whatever. But like it's interesting to think like what would Disney in short look like under Apple directive, right? And I think it could be a great thing. Now again, it would be a monopoly of sorts because Disney owns so much. Now maybe Bob Iger's selling off the different parts of Disney so that he can then sell Disney to Apple. That would be a thing. And Bob Iger would make a ton of money if he did that. Because it would be worth billions. And I'm sure whoever negotiates the sale of Disney would be like sitting pretty for a good time. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, that could change if we get a new presidency. Even if we don't, we could still change. There's a lot of things that are up in the air. I think that it's interesting that Disney's going through such a hard time right now. And I'm curious to see where it goes. Like 100%. I'm very fascinated with all of this. I actually need to start writing on my website. Yes, I have a website. Yes, I haven't written on it for a long time. You'd think that a teacher who teaches journalism and then teaches his kids how to write on a website would actually write on his website. But ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah. But no, I'm really interested in all of this stuff. I think it's super fascinating. Because Disney it's hit a low, right? I recently bought stock in Disney, not a ton, but I was curious to see. I mean, I probably could have like just watched the stock market for Disney and not bought stock and lost money. But I did. I bought stock in Disney. I bought 2 shares, I think, and that way I can get in on the interviews, right? I can sit in on the earnings reports and be like, all right, Disney, what are you telling me? Maybe I can't. I don't know. I mean, I've gotten the earnings calls and stuff, so that's fun. But like, it's interesting. I bought 1 share at $92, and I bought another share at like $85, and it's been sitting between $85 and $92 for I think like 4 or 5 months now. I also, Azura says that I think that the streaming industry will eventually consolidate. Almost none are profitable, and all are chasing customers. And I think you're absolutely right. The thing that Iger was talking about was that they were going to create a Hulu Disney platform, like together. And granted, they can't sell Disney Plus if that works, but if they can take Disney Plus and then just combine it with Hulu, boom, problem solved. You have one streaming service that has all of this stuff. It has all Disney. It has all it just has everything. And so that is a solid concept. Now, granted, this is why they have to buy Disney. They have to buy the Hulu thing, which is why they might have to sell off Lucasfilm or these other products, or somehow come up with other ways to make money. And so it's a huge change. Now, it's interesting because if you think of streaming, and for those of us who are old enough to remember, like when Netflix was like sending you DVDs, you know, streaming hasn't been around that long. And so it's still technically in its infancy. But at the same time, what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen to this whole product that is, how's it going to develop? How's it going to change? And I'm very curious. Now, I think whatever Disney does may set the precedent for it. Because if you were to have groups, now again, this is part of the problem with the whole concept of monopolies, right? Disney, Hulu, Fox, Nat Geo, all of these belong under one property. So it'll be interesting to see one way or the other. Well, that's it for today. I've got 2049. I can do no more, no worse. Let me show you where I'm at as far as farming goes. This is the Going Nerdy Farming Guide. All right, Princess Kanisa. Awesome. I got to show you something. Hold on. I'm really excited about this. So, I may have gotten a Funko. This is Breath Up. I don't know how to say that name, but it's the Ewok who's playing the drums, right? Will we get him in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes where all he's doing is just, keeping the rhythm of the battle? I don't know. I think it's more the rhythm of the night. And whoa, I don't know. So what I've decided to do is I'm putting all of my characters who I'm farming up top. Now, he's the little drummer boy, literally. So I'm going after Rex because I do want Leia, but I know that there's characters that I can't get for Leia. Kinesa, Rex, whoever they come out with next, what is it, Drogon? He's going to be one that's going to be a challenge for me. And so I've got them all up top because I know I want to keep them forefront in my mind. Now, I did just get tech to Relic 3 today. I should get him to Relic 5 because I'm also farming Lord Vader, right? Of all of the characters that I'm going for, I don't have Lord Vader. Tarkin, Tech, and the rest of the Bad Batch, or at least the rest of the clone Bad Batch characters, are who I'm trying to get. It's a slow unlock. But I'm also trying to get Marin, Seer Junda, I don't know why I said her name that way, and Saw Gerrera. Marin is an excellent character. She makes the Night Sisters pop. Just pop. And they're great. She's an awesome character. With Talon Marcus Talikos, that's not his name. I'm suffering from a head cold. Anyways, they're going to be awesome. The Night Sisters are going to reach a new level of badassery. So I'm really excited about that. But I'm pretty stoked to get the Terran Malicos. I was way off. Well, I wasn't way off. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, right? But that's going to be down the road. He's a character that I'll get eventually. But I'm not super far away from him. Marin is 31 shards away. Seer Junda, Saw Gerrera, both a little bit further than I'd like. But as I'm farming these guys, I can get some of these other characters up, right? The real problem will come as I'm farming these stupid components, the Chirotechs and the Chirotechs. They suck, and I hate it. So, I don't know. I'm really excited. This is kind of where I'm at with all of this. But I'm pretty stoked. Princess Kinesa is going to be dope, and I'm really excited to have an Ewok team that rocks the freaking house. Because she's got to be like Relic 7. I mean, that's insane. But yeah, the whole Relic 7 concept is going to be rough. Now, I am going to be farming. The way that I'm going to do this is, like, once Tech gets up, then I'll be moving on to Grand Moff Tarkin, and that will be my my relic materials. That's where I'll be putting my relic materials. But then I'm going to bank them all. Just put them in store and just hold on to them, so that when I get the next Bad Batch member up, which I think Echo will be the next one up. Let me double check here. But once I get the next Bad Batch member up, I'll have some background to kind of like move that character up. So Echo's 10, 9, 9, 9. I mean, I will want to get Omega up, but it'll be down the road, kind of a thing. But yeah, like, I'm super stoked for this, where I'm at. I love where I'm at. Like, I feel really good. Now, granted, Leviathan I'm actually close to unlocking. I'm not close to getting all the way up. So I have all of the Leviathan parts. But where is it? The actual, because the Leviathan comes here in a couple of days, I think. Maybe it's Wednesday, Tuesday. It comes once this week sometime, this coming week. And so I'll be able to unlock it because Leviathan, I got it. Let me show you real quick. But again, even unlocking it, is it going to get me all the way up? I mean, am I going to be able to relic it to get it all the way to 7? No, not even close to that. Evan Jim, what's up, man? Evac Jim. So I'll probably get the first couple. Hopefully I'll get it to relic 5. That's my goal. When it unlocks, we'll see how often I do the refresh on that. I mean, I might spend a little bit to get it to relic 6. We'll see, but I don't know. Yeah. So I have been good about getting the characters on Conquest. I won't lie, I have wailed a little bit. But, you know, it is what it is. So that's kind of where I'm at. I do have an Omicron that I'm not sure where to put. Or an Omicron, not Omicron. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. This is my farming guide. I've got to go through. I mean, mods have always been my weakness. So I've got to go through and make some changes, make better my mods. I'm trying to find good mods for these characters as they're coming through, right? So as I'm relicking them up, I'm putting the mods on them so I don't have to worry about them later on. But that's not always the case, and that's not all. I mean, I forget to do that more often than not. So yeah, this is my farming guide, or at least where I'm farming, my farming update. All right, good to know. Azura says Echo is the key to the Bad Batch team. Get him to Relic 5, and the rest will come in. I just know that with like this new Conquest stuff, there's a lot of clone things that I just haven't been able to do because my clones aren't great, right? I have the essential clones, but I don't. Let me see where they are. Clone troopers. They just don't always work super well together. And maybe it's just I don't know how to work them super well together, which is probably the case. So I'm pretty excited. I feel pretty positive about where I'm at. Now, granted, I'm not a day 1 player, but I'm close enough. I'm year 1 for sure. Maybe even month 1 for sure. But I've been playing for a while. I'm a spender of times. So I like where I'm at. I feel good about it. If you're not a spender, don't spend. Right? Don't tap that vein. It's not worth it. There's better ways to spend your money. Like Funko Pops. I don't care what my wife says. And Monster energy drinks. This is actually my second one, and I've only been up for 3 hours. I blame kids. I don't feel great because students made me feel this way. And I told them that on Friday. I'm like, I've got a head cold. You guys did this to me. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great weekend. Streaming for Ahsoka comes out on Tuesday. Very excited for it. Looking to hear from you guys what you think about it. Very stoked. Like, subscribe, share. Check out the links in the section below. On my Etsy store, I've been putting up new stuff. I've actually got stickers now. I'm trying to put everything as magnets as well. Everything you do helps support the channel. One day I will get a lightsaber, and I'm really excited about that. But I won't tell you how I'm going to do that. Where was I? Yes. Remember, my friends, smile.